Hello and welcome to Esther's Gardening Adventures. I'm Esther, and confession time. I am having a hard time doing this video because I have very low energy. I went on a week-long work trip and I got very sick on the trip, and I'm still feeling sick afterwards. I'm on antibiotics, I'm doing better, but boy, am I drained, and I gotta go back to work tomorrow. And yeah, but I thought I would share this video with you because I think it's important. While I was gone, I didn't ask my husband to cover any of my winter sowing jugs. I knew there was a chance of frost, but the forecast wasn't showing there would be a frost, and there was. It got down to 30, possibly 29, at least on one night, if not 2 nights. And I had some damage to my winter sowing jugs. So if this is your first time hearing about winter sowing, it's a way of starting seedlings outdoors and things like milk jugs, which you'll see in a minute, instead of indoors under grow lights. Now, seedlings are just fine outside in cooler temperatures, but if you have any sprouted jugs, you have to cover them on freezing nights. This is the first time that I've had this much loss from a frost. This is the first time I've been this irresponsible, but I was heading on this trip. I didn't have time. I could have had time. There's always the could have, should haves, but I knew this was a risk, and I could have asked my husband to cover them up, but I was just too busy during the conference. And often it would be, and I'd be finishing up my work day, and I'd look and I'd go, oh crap, it's frost there already, and my husband's asleep, time difference, and it was too late. So I came back, and I'm going to show you what I found. Now, not everything's lost. Most of the jugs are fine, but let this be a lesson to you to cover any sprouted jugs on freezing nights. Here's why. Let's go. First up, we've got a jug. I know I say don't do more than 2 at a time, but we've got fenugreek, horehound, feverfew, and Thai basil. It looks like the fenugreek has bloomed and seemed to do okay without any protection in the frost. And the Thai basil may have sprouted some too, so that's awesome. Next up, let's check on the cornflower and nasturtiums. So if you look straight down in, you'll see the one nasturtium plant I had definitely got some frost damage. When this happens to you for your jugs, you have a couple of options. You can replant new seeds, or you can wait to see if additional ones sprout. I'm probably going to start some more nasturtiums because I really want to have some nasturtiums this year. And this is a consequence of not taking care of my jugs while I was out of town. Okay, here's the Russian kale. The red Russian kale seems to have sprouted and survived just fine in the frost. We have some alpine strawberries sprouts, which is fantastic to see. Looks like they're doing good overall. The celtis and celery have both sprouted. We knew the celtis had sprouted, but it's nice to see that the celery has also sprouted, and neither of them were harmed by the frost. So, yay, that's good to see. Now, here's a surprise. If you look over here, you will see one little sprout right up near the top. See that little sprout? That's one of my eggplants. That's a Saitamo Aodamo eggplant, and it looks like we have one sprout coming up. I don't know if it sprouted overnight when I had it covered or some other time, but it looks like it's doing okay, so that's awesome. My collards and Ethiopian kale are both doing good. It looks at least one of my balsam and stocks have sprouted. You can see down in that corner a little bit. My apricot status, and let's see. Yeah, it's another kind. Let's see. This jug fell over when I was away, and I don't know how long it had fallen over. But to show you a sign of even if a plant jug falls over, it doesn't mean it's doomed. It looks like we had at least one sprout, and I'm hoping this means that the soil wasn't disturbed enough to cause a big problem. It looks like it's all pretty much somewhat in place still. So hopefully we'll still get some nice flowers from this in addition to the one. For the snapdragons, some sprouts in here in the snapdragon jugs. Yay! The alyssum has sprouted. Okay, so these are 2 that I didn't know would sprout while I was gone. My loofah and my kakuzi squash. I think the loofah sprouted. Now look close here. If you look at the leaves, you can see that it's yellowing and sort of mushiness on the edges, that they did get some frost damage. But the center of the leaves look good. They're not fully slumped over like you saw with the nasturtiums. And I think these guys will survive. So whew, that's a relief. don't want to have to plant more squash if I can help it. And it looks like they survived that frosty night that I was not here to cover them. So that's great. It looks like we may also have a volunteer cilantro or dill in the corner as well in this jug. Now, unfortunately, the story is not so good for my zinnias. If we look in here, you'll see, and I'm actually going to open up the jug so we can look at them. I'm going to have to start new zinnias. All right, here we go. Let's see. Yeah. So look at that. This is a sign. This is when you know that you need to, I'm going to actually take this. I'm going to get some more zinnia seeds. I'm going to put them in here. But if you look at this, you can see she's just mush. She's straight up mush. Now the bottom still looks like it's still somewhat alive. But the top of that is just, that's a dead seedling. I'm not going to worry about her surviving. Obviously, I pulled her out. I'm going to plant a new one. This one might survive. It's got a little bit of green right there, so I'm going to leave that one. We'll see if she survives, because the stem still has some green to it, which tells me the nutrients is still able to get up. So we might still get something from this. But this one's also kind of a goner. Look at that. So I need to come out, and for these two, and I'm gonna set something on top of it. These monkey balls, so remember which one needs more seeds planted. I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna plant more seeds here, and then I'm gonna tape it up and hope that we get more zinnias out of this. I may also start another new jug with the zinnias, but we'll see. So there you go. That's what happens. These are sweet peppers, and we have some sprouts. See how well you can see in here. It looks like they have a little bit of damage to the leaves, but not too much. It also looks like the frost got to my eggplants. I had 2 eggplants that had sprouted while I was gone. 3. Look over there. There's another one. And they all got killed by the frost. All 3. I don't see any over here that sprouted. But I think I'm going to restart these eggplant jugs. Let's see, do we get any tomatoes? Looks like my tomatoes may have also been killed off. Yep, it looks like my sunrise sauce tomatoes seedlings, look right there. How well you can see right there, this little guy right here is totally mush. Yeah, totally mush. There's one here that might survive, but I'm not going to count on it surviving. I'm going to redo this jug too. I can reuse this potting mix, and there's a chance I'll end up with a lot more tomatoes if this summer sunrise haven't sprouted yet. But I'm going to put some more seeds in this one, and in fact I'm going to mark that so I know which side needs more seeds. The Salvia coral nymph seems to have survived okay. I'm nervous about these zinnias. See, you just never know. Maybe because these were further along, my apricot zinnias seem to be doing fine. This is the asters. Seedlings are okay for this one, so that's good. They're tiny still, but they're fine. And our finocchios ribbed red, and our facel tomatoes have also looked like they're doing okay. So not all hope is lost. Our poppies, copper pot, and black peony. We have a few sprouts, and they seem to be healthy. Some foxglove sprouts. Butterfly pea flower. We got a sprout there. She's looking okay. We have a calendula sprout in the corner here. It looks like I lost some bell peppers too in this. And you look at the far right, you'll see up over there, you'll see there's some that have died. Some bell peppers that have died. So I'm going to have to redo these jugs. Some of them. It's so disheartening. Another tomato that did fine was my Gujarat's Village and Omar Lebanese. They seem to be okay after the frost. You know, what I'm unclear of is whether they sprouted before the frost, after the frost. I don't know which day the frost was on. I didn't pay close enough attention to that. So I don't know if some of these might have sprouted after the frost and those are the ones, or maybe the ones that died were the ones that were just sprouting when the frost happened. Now we do have a few jugs that are ready to be transplanted up that I'm going to try to get to this weekend. We have some lettuce, different types of Pablo lettuce, as well as the asparagus and the cabbage, both getting big enough to be transplanted soon. But I am going to end on a positive note, which is the inside seedlings are doing great. There's eggplant and peppers back there. Some more, got some marigolds, some calendula, some violas. Aren't they so pretty? Growing. And my indoor tomatoes doing good. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And again, protect your seedlings at night. Cover them with a blanket. If you have sprouted jugs, don't do like me and neglect them. All right. See you next time.